Well, we have to dream big. Why can't one day that when the cricket comes to Australia, then we could have the international competition extend to Kho Kho as well? That would be
Right.
amazing to see. Hopefully, a World Cup can lead even into Olympic consideration as a sport. This can be a
Yes,
global sport. It is such a fan,
absolutely.
and who knows, maybe it'll even be Australia, India at this World Cup final and not at
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Namaste, everyone. This is Prince Raj welcoming you all in the 18th episode of the Kho Talk. And here we have a very special guest from the Australia. Can you guess who is he? Her name is Mr. Lee. Welcome, Mr. Lee, sir.
Oh, hello, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, sir. So we'll start the Kho Talk. And very first question for you is, how did you personally get involved in Kho Kho, and what inspired you to take on the role of vice president for the Australia Kho Kho, sir?
Well, Kho Kho is such an incredible sport from India. It's been something that we've had to learn what the sport is because in Australia we don't have many players, we don't have many community events that are involving Kho Kho. So for myself, as a member of Kho Kho Australia, it's been a new journey of exploration and a newfound love of a fantastic sport. Kho Kho has so much skill and strategy behind it. And for Australians, we love skill, strategy, speed, agility, all these natural sports that we
Right.
have, or the natural qualities, I should say, across so many different sports, let alone the cricket that's on now where you see such things. But for us, Kho Kho is so new. It's something that we really just have to get involved in because when you think about it, why wouldn't you get involved in Kho Kho? It's such an amazing activity to play team, and just so feeling so very lucky to be involved. For the committee itself, we heard about Kho Kho through one of our committee members, our president Nick Damjanovsky, through his work, and we decided to explore what that would mean for us as a committee to be involved in. And fortunately, there was an opportunity to put together two teams, a men's team and a women's team, to compete at the inaugural Kho Kho World Cup tournament, which is
Right.
absolutely exciting. So since October, we've formed as our committee, and now we're getting ready as we move into January to prepare and to travel across to India, to New Delhi for the tournament.
Right, sir. So it's very interesting that you love the natural game. As you mentioned, the natural game having the speed, agility, strength, and all the strategy. So it sounds great that you also love the game. I have the next question for you. And the question is,
Sure.
how has the Kho Kho evolved in Australia over the years?
Well, Kho Kho in Australia is usually played within the Indian Australian community. So in
Wow.
Sydney and in Canberra and in Melbourne, across the country, you have Indian Australian players who are playing community level sports. So they'll
Wow.
play, and I th understand that they'll arrange games via Facebook or Teams, these type of social media apps. People come together to play.
Right.
We have done what is backwards for this World Cup. We're taking Team Australia to a World Cup first before we have established a community, not just a community, but a nationwide competition or even a state competition. We don't have that yet here in Australia. So for us, our focus is to go to the World Cup and to be competitive and to participate. And we're training hard to do that. We think that we have a very good team that we've put together, and we will be very competitive on the day in India. We're looking forward to showing our skills to everyone that
Wow.
attends and across the broadcasted audience. And then we will come back to Australia having learnt all of our experience of playing at the international level to develop a national competition and to take Kho Kho into schools across Australia.
Right. It sounds great that there was already few competitions and community from the Australia. They are loving the game, and with the help of this Kho Kho World Cup, we can get a standard and good platform to take the interest in the sport. Right, sir?
Absolutely. Everyone, when we first tell them about Kho Kho, a lot of
Yeah,
people scratch their heads because they've not heard of it before. They think, what are you talking about? And then you start to show some video clips from YouTube, some of the promotional material that's been sent out by yourselves, but also by the Federation in India. And you start to see people's interests straight away. They think, what is this? How do I get involved? And they're very keen to play themselves, which is amazing. And even my niece and nephew, they're only young and they're
yeah.
at school or very young school, and they're starting to look at it and go, that looks like fun. Can I play? But they can't play against adults, of course, so they have to watch. So it's got an ability to have interest at all ages, and the skill involved is incredible at the higher
Right,
levels. But you don't need to have that type of skill to play. All you need is a pair of shoes, the right field or the court to play on, and anyone can play. It's fantastic.
right. That's why the slogan of International Kho Kho Federation is Kho Anywhere, and you will complete the next line,
Go
sir.
everywhere.
Right. Kho
Go
Anywhere,
anywhere,
Kho
go
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes.
That's
And the
right.
best thing about the game is that there is no restriction. The rich person can also play. The poor person also can play. We can play on the
That's
mud,
right.
mat, snow, sand, soil. No limitation. We can play anywhere, anytime. Right, sir?
And even though I said anyone of any age can play, I'm
Yeah,
lucky
yeah.
enough
Sorry,
to be
sorry.
in the
I missed
support.
that. You are
I'm,
right.
I'm in the support staff. I'm not
Right,
playing myself because I'm getting on in my years. And as much as I could play, I'm glad that those that are younger and more athletic and faster than me are playing for Australia. I'm learning a lot from the sidelines, and even the strategy involved from watching at that level and trying to influence it's a fantastic sport to be involved in.
right. You are absolutely right. I forget that point that this game is for all age as well. So that's great that you are
That's right.
mentioning all the essential points. I love that, sir. So my next question will be, sir, what challenges you have faced in promoting Kho Kho in Australia and how you have overcome them, sir?
Well, the biggest challenge we've faced is that no one's heard of Kho Kho in Australia, or very few people have heard of it. So to
Yeah,
form an organization and bring a team together to compete at a World Cup event has been our challenge, and we've passed that challenge at the moment, which is great. We have the men's team and the women's team attending, and to be competitive as well. That's a big achievement for the committee. We've
right.
been fortunate enough to have received sponsors to help
Wow.
us with our uniform costs and training expenses. So a big thank you to our 4 sponsors who have been involved. And we've also had some initial support from various other sporting groups have shown interest. And we've also had some words of encouragements from local politicians here in the ACT. So that's
Wow.
been fantastic to hear from them that they see the potential of this sport and the strong partnership it plays in continuing our sporting history between India and Australia,
Right,
which,
right,
if I may be so bold, I would just like to remind everyone to watch the cricket at the moment. It is day one here in
right.
Melbourne, and Australia is slightly on top of India. And I think
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
have to take that momentum with us when we play India if we make it through to the finals of the Kho Kho World Cup.
Sure. And I'm very surprised to know that we have some good sponsor in Australia who is sponsoring our Australian team. So I hope this game will increase the popularity in Australia very fast, very rapidly, sir. We all
Again, a
are
big
cricket
thank you.
lover as well. So you mentioned that point that at this presently there is border Gavaskar trophy going on. And we Indian community and Australian community love the Kho Kho as well as cricket as well. So it will be a next level and the next type of bonding between us in this sport.
Well, we have to dream big. Why can't one day that when the cricket comes to Australia, then we could have the international competition extend to Kho Kho as well? That would be
Right,
amazing to see.
right. It can be in the future because this is the first Kho Kho World Cup, and we can hope, yes, in future we can have some bilateral series with India, Australia, and other country as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my next question for you is, what is the current level of participation and enthusiasm for the Kho Kho in Australia, especially the younger generation, sir?
The sport is so new that we don't have a lot of participation across the country yet. So
Yeah,
that's when we come back from the World Cup will be our focus in 2025 and onwards. We want to develop local competitions in every state and capital city in Australia, and then
yeah,
have the national competition as well. So that will be our focus. And to get there, we want to take the sport into schools because we think schools will be an amazing area of our sporting and community system to introduce this new sport and to get interest amongst kids who can then play into a competition league. But fortunately, our players as well, because they're from major capital cities and they have their own networks and sporting contacts, we want to use those to really leverage the sport to new heights here in Australia. So that'll
yeah.
be our plan next year.
Sure, sure. And I'm sure that the schools and the college and that university will also support the game, and we can have a great team in Australia as well.
That's right. All you need is a pair of shoes, understanding the rules and the right court, which is easy to set up, and you can
Right,
play with anyone. So we think
right.
it's got a lot of potential.
Absolutely right, sir. So my next question is, sir, what are any unique training program or initiative in Australia for nurture Kho Kho talent, sir? Is there any kind of things?
Well, for training for the World Cup, we have our team members based in Sydney, Canberra, and Melbourne. So even today, they are training. It's Boxing Day. It's tonight from about 6 o'clock tonight, our time. They're going to be out there as a team training across those three cities. We had a national camp 2 weekends ago in Canberra, and we have another one on the 4th and 5th of January, again in
Yeah,
Canberra. So for those 2 days, everyone comes together from across the three cities and we meet as a group and work on our tactics and our strategy. And I can't tell you too much about that. You're just going to have to watch and experience it
right, right,
firsthand in Delhi in the World Cup. But what we are very lucky that our coach Gaurav, he has a lot of experience at the national level of Kho Kho in India, and
right,
he's
right,
able to teach us, and we're able to learn fast. Our players also have a background in athletics, touch football, AFL, our Australian Football League here in Australia, and we have the transferable skill set of athletics and running and all this speed and agility that comes from this to apply to the Kho Kho field and to the team itself. So they're working hard, they're training harder, and we're all just getting ready for the World Cup.
So yes, you are right that our Australian team is doing well in camp. So is there any key players to watch out for, sir? Can you tell few names so that we can have our eyes on them?
Well, I don't want to name too many names because otherwise I might forget some others and I'll be in trouble on my end at the next team camp.
Right,
Um, but we're working through who our Wazirs will be. We have 2 or 3 men and 2 or 3 women that will be a natural fit to be our Wazirs. And we haven't announced our team captains yet, so I can't give you any insights there. I'm sorry.
all right, no issue,
Um,
sir.
Canberra, but you have to look at our social media accounts for the big reveals as we get ready towards the World Cup.
Sure,
Um, our coaching staff as well as, like I said, with Gaurav, we also have our physiotherapist, our physio Jules, he's coming. Our president Nick will be there as well. So we'll be very well represented over in Delhi.
great, great, sir.
It's
Yeah,
such a fantastic opportunity and an
yeah,
amazing experience to be part of. The
right,
federation in India to sponsor players and teams to attend uh, in New Delhi is just such a humbling experience to be a part of.
right,
This is the inaugural World Cup, and from all the social media that I'm seeing in all the meetings that we're attending, there's such an excitement for this competition.
right, sir.
To be part of it as the first team from Australia is a real privilege, and we just would like to say thank you to all involved. It's been so special.
Especially, we can thank to our President of the Kho Kho Federation of India, Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, sir, and General Secretary of KKFI, Mr. MS Tyagi, sir, and our all the teams who were working behind the scene for this
Absolutely.
mega event, sir.
It's changing the world and, for the better of sport has that amazing ability to really talk to people of all ages or backgrounds or wherever they
Right,
are based in the world. And Kho Kho is adding its name to this, list of prestigious events that
right,
really
right.
does bring the world together through sport. And again, just to be part of the first experience and the first competition is such an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, sir. So my next question is, what does the first ever Kho Kho World Cup mean for global Kho Kho community and especially for the Australian team, sir?
So many of us here in Australia, we just are amazed to be invited and selected to participate. Like I said before, it is a humbling experience to be able to represent your country and to be able to play the best in the world in their home country. India is the best, we would argue, at this sport. It is your sport. It is India's sport. And for it to be played here in Australia, so far away, and for us to be able to take the game and show what we can do in Delhi is an amazing experience. If
Right,
you had asked me at the start of the year, I would be training with a team to take to the World Cup in Delhi, I would not believe you. And now here we are, 3 weeks away from the competition,
right.
and the excitement is building across every player and every member of our team. It is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And especially the news media, the social media, and all kind of stuff. They are promoting the game. They are boosting the popularity. So hope this will be
Mm.
promoting the game globally, and the game will be having a lot
Oh,
of
yes.
praise around the globe, sir.
Every day there's something new to see and a new campaign being launched through the social media, a new element being
Right,
unveiled, I should say, to the
right.
audience. I saw the other day the stadium and the mats that were going in, the everything was looking so amazing. And to even hear some special messages from actors and spokespeople who have signed up as part of the social media push, it's incredible that this is happening, and it's incredible to see how it is developing every day. It's so exciting.
Yeah, sir. So that's great to know about it. And my next question is, sir, is there any kind of support from government to promote the game of the Kho Kho?
At the moment, we're still so new and so focused on the World Cup that we haven't campaigned for official support. But
Okay,
we have been fortunate here in Canberra to have two members of government, Independent Senator David Pocock and Dr. Andrew Lee from the Australian Labor Party, have both sent a message of support to the team directly, which is lovely to have received, and we're very thankful for that. So
yeah,
it's going to take some time to build up our profile, but every day the profile grows that much larger, which is amazing to see and to experience. So we're very confident that in 2025, during and then after the World Cup, our profile of the sport will increase across Australia like you won't believe. It'll be amazing to see the growth across our country.
yeah, sir. And I hope our Australian government will support the game and we can have a great career for the player as well there, sir. So my next question is, sir,
Absolutely.
what are your long-term goal for the Kho Kho in Australia, and how do you envision in the growth of the Kho Kho in next 5 to 10 years?
Wow, that's a big question, and we have big dreams here at Kho Kho Australia. So, first of all, we want to participate in a World Cup, and we're
Yeah,
doing that in January. Then we want to bring the sport here to Australia and develop it into schools and to have a local and then national competition.
right.
When we have hosting national competitions, we want to be hosting international countries to come to Australia, or
Yes.
for us as a national team to go to other countries and to play internationally with our teams. It's not
Okay.
just a once-off World Cup, we hope. We hope that Australia will be at the next World Cup, and hopefully a World Cup can lead even into Olympic consideration as a sport. This can be a
Yes.
global sport. It is such a
Absolutely.
fantastic opportunity, and why wouldn't you play for your country in an ongoing capacity? So we're going to be right behind it, and we'll be pushing to be there at the next World Cup.
Sure, sir. And as you mentioned that we have to grow step by step, school level, then province level, then national level. And yes, our ultimate aim is at the Olympics.
That's right.
Yeah,
Let's
sir.
take it to the Olympics and let's be there and competing as Australia versus India for the gold medal. That's our
Sure.
final that's our
Definitely.
final goal is to play India in the gold medal match and to win. So don't tell anyone over there. I think we'll have to surprise them.
Yeah, sir. Who knows that at the time when the Kho Kho included in Olympics, who will be the best team at that time? Nobody knows.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
sir. So my next question is around the this Olympics and all, sir. So seeing Australia long history of dominance in other sports and on a large stage like Olympics, how long before we see in the Kho Kho, sir?
How long? Well, I think it's 20 days or 19 days until the World Cup. So you'll get a taste of our sporting prowess there. I will mention that our cricket team is currently slightly ahead of the Indian team in the Boxing Day Test match. So you might see a good result for Australia there, it looks like. But, India as a sporting nation is such a powerful team across all their major sports, cricket, hockey, and now Kho Kho, of course.
Right.
So India is going to be very tough to play and very tough to beat no matter wherever you play. But Australia, even though we have a smaller population, we certainly punch above our weight in terms of sporting prowess and outcomes. So expect big things from Team Australia at the Kho Kho World Cup.
Right, sir. And our Australian team having a great history in the sports. And no matter that's Commonwealth, that's World Cup, or any Olympics, our Australian team is doing very great and they're taking lots of medal in other sports. And we hope when the Kho Kho comes at that biggest stage, our Australian team will also do very well in that.
Well, we need a lot of supporters. We need people to
Sure.
support our team when we get there, to
Yeah, yeah.
dress in green and gold and to shout out their support for us. Because,
Right.
when you have the support of people around you, of your community,
Correct.
particularly at the international level, that support really drives us on. So we're looking forward to it.
Yes, yes. So my next question is, sir, what the potential can you see in the Kho Kho?
I think the potential for Kho Kho is almost immeasurable. I use that term because everyone can run. Everyone at some point in their life has been able to run.
Yeah,
And if you can run, you can play Kho Kho.
right.
So something that people do naturally can be applied to a sport that can be played by almost everyone. So the growth of Kho Kho in Australia, I think, is just going to go from strength to strength. Kho Kho should be one of our key sports in Australia. I think we're going to be able to develop it. So when Australians talk about sport, I think they'll always talk about their football, they'll always talk about their cricket, and we want them to start talking about Kho Kho as part of that conversation. And,
Sure, sure.
once the World Cup is held and they see what the sport can be and what it can do and how Australia will be competitive and what that looks like, we're going to be adding to the conversation of sport across Australia and the world. And Kho
Sure.
Kho should be part of that.
Sure. I can see that emotion and that strength in your eyes. Yes, you have a great dedication and that vision in your eyes for the Kho Kho that you are comparing the game. In future, it should be compared and at that level with the cricket, soccer, and other athletics, swimming. The Kho Kho should be at that level. I love your spirit, sir.
Absolutely. Australians love sport. It's a
Right.
shame that it's taken us so long to hear about Kho Kho. We should have heard about it earlier as a national sport. But,
Right.
now that we have heard about it and we get the chance to play at the international level, I think the sport will just grow like you've never seen. It's going to be amazing.
Right, right. And this is the real potential of this game.
That's right.
Right. So my next question is, sir, what excites you the most about the upcoming World Cup?
Wow. Personally, I've never been to India before, so it's an
Okay.
amazing experience to be able to travel to India and to experience your country. for a sport to be developing in this way is fantastic to be a part of. You know, a World Cup is an international event, and
Right.
here we are. We get a chance to travel as Team Australia and compete internationally. That's incredible. I think what I'm looking forward to most is playing in front of a live audience,
Right.
spectators, people who have attending this World Cup and are shouting out support for Australia. I think that is going to
Sure.
be something I'll remember for the rest of my life. So I think it's just going to be a fantastic life experience that is always going to be remembered by everyone from Team Australia who plays. So again, just a very heartfelt, sincere thank you to all involved through the federations over in India and the International Federation who are supporting us to go and to be there. It's just such an amazing opportunity.
Great, sir. And we can see your excitement for the Kho Kho World Cup.
Oh,
So,
every sleep we get one day closer, and
yeah,
it's that much more exciting to know that it's coming. So yeah,
right.
it's the next 2, 3 weeks are going to fly by.
Great, great. So we don't know that how times will fly. We don't know, and very soon the World Cup will be there, sir.
That's right.
Yeah, sir. So my last question of the Kho Talk is: do you have any message or words for the encouragement of the Australian team and Kho Kho enthusiastic around the globe?
Wow. A message for our team would be keep training hard. We deserve to be there. We're going to be competitive, and they won't know how to handle our strength, our speed, and our agility. We're bringing our A game to be competitive on the day. So enjoy the experience. And to all teams, I'm looking forward to meeting other Kho Kho staff, other Kho Kho players. And I really am looking forward to not just the game itself, but the opportunity to meet after the game and to
Right,
share our love of sport and Kho Kho together and to build those friendships that I know will last a lifetime. And hopefully, professionally, we'll be able to develop a strong sense of achievement, but also start some legacies between our countries so that whenever we play each other, we know that it's going to be serious, so that there'll be a strong game, a challenging game, and with a very good sense of victory upon the end of the game. So um, it's something that's hard to describe at times because it's so exciting, but the fact that we're going and we'll be there together, I think will be an amazing experience. So I wish everyone the best. I hope the competition treats everyone with respect and fairness, but at the same time, Team Australia, we're bringing our A game. We're going to be competitive on the day. We're looking forward to it. And who knows, maybe it'll even be Australia-India at this World Cup final and not at
sure.
the Olympics in a couple of years' time. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely right. And you also mentioned all the teams that they should also play well. You sended your warm wishes for the all team. Prepare well, come to India, have a great session for the Kho Kho World Cup. And at the last, we will
Absolutely.
say our slogan. We all know what is our slogan. The world goes,
Kho! The
the
world
world
goes
goes,
Kho!
the world goes.
Kho!
So
Kho!
yeah, so with this, we will conclude this interview, this podcast, and thank you very much, Mr. Lee sir, for your valuable time, your precious time in between the Border Gavaskar Trophy match time. So I really appreciate it, and very, very thank you to you, sir.
Thank you for your time too, and I look forward to meeting you in India on the 13th to the 19th of January. See you at the World Cup.
Sure, sir. We will be there at the World Cup, and all the very best to Australian team and all the team around the globe.
Thank you.
And the world goes
Kho!
Kho.